Hey folks, welcome to another episode of SEM Saturday, a raw, uncut, unedited weekly video series where we teach you how you can get more traffic to your website, more leads, and ultimately more revenue to your business through search marketing. I'm your host, Riley Farbaugh.
I'm your co-host, Bobby Massa.
And today we're going to go over local SEO and how you can rank highly in Google's map pack as well as local search results in the organic algorithm. So, Bobby, what are some of the common questions people have about local SEO and you know,
I think a lot of people ask, how is local SEO different from organic SEO?
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest question. So I think the biggest difference is that local search is utilizing like a map pack to show searchers what's right around them, whereas organic search is where the search engines decide what the user is looking for with regards to more of an information type of search. If your business primarily serves an audience within like a certain geographical location, then local SEO is kind of more what you want to focus on.
Yeah, and I want to make the distinction here between local and organic SEO because a lot of businesses do service clientele in a specific geographic location, but maybe their industry, their niche isn't represented in local SEO yet. It probably will be at some point. So when we talk about local SEO, we're talking about any search query that produces a map, or what we call the map pack, or some people refer to it as the snack pack even, because it's easy pickings, good eating in terms of the leads and the quality of the traffic. Right. So if someone was searching New York City chiropractor or Boston mechanic, those are high intent searches. They're looking for a local product or service, and they're looking for it now.
That's very true. So there's some really excellent stats on local SEO. One of the ones that stood out to me the most is that 89% of people search for a local business on their smartphone weekly. 89% of people, with 58% searching daily. Wow. And 50% of those searches lead to somebody visiting a store within a day. And then 78% of local searches result in an offline purchase. So when people are searching for something local, you really know that they're really trying to make an action happen. You know, if they're like, oh, haircuts in Burlington, Vermont, they're looking for a haircut today. So 46% actually of all Google searches are local. So this is a very rapidly changing segment of search marketing, and it's something that you really want to optimize because it's got a lot of opportunity for conversions.
Those are great stats. So there's two ways to succeed and get yourself in front of these customers, right? One would be paid search, and you can pay to display your ads, your text ads above the map, or you can pay to display your business listing within the map above the organic results. And both have their benefits. And then on the organic side, obviously you can rank within the map pack. And you know, I think maybe a year ago there were 4 results there. Now there's 3. So there's more competition for those spots, and a lot of leads are flowing through those top 3 spots.
For sure.
But you can also rank below the map in the organic results. And there are, it's not local search below the map, but there are local ranking signals within the organic algorithm. So you can rank, if you're in both spots, that's even better.
Yeah, I think something important for people to understand is perhaps where local and organic SEO meet. Something that's important for both of them is claiming your business on Google My Business, claiming it on Yelp, TripAdvisor, etc. Just really keeping up with your profile so that it looks like there's somebody actively managing everything that's going on these local portals. And then again, it's also about content marketing, whereas you're creating locally relevant blog posts, naturally helping your organic search engine optimization. And you're going to utilize keyword research to find the demand and then bring that content to the users.
Yeah, and with the content marketing, right? You're establishing yourself as an authority, and you're gaining relevancy in a geographic region. So it's not just publishing content blindly. It's you have to do the research to understand where the search demand is for content, so that you're fulfilling that search demand. And also, there are times when we recommend doing totally unrelated posts, as long as they're geographically relevant, just to build up that local authority and local relevancy.
That's true. If you have a local business, even just, maybe making a blog post about the happenings for the weekend in town, or like the local sports teams, high school sports teams, whatever's going on, if you make yourself more of a credible and authoritative source for like anything happening locally, people will take you more seriously as a local business.
That's a great point. So, like an example would be, I know a lot of like youth sports leagues have local business sponsoring them.
Mm-hmm.
If you create a blog post about that on your domain, you link it to the local website, there's potentially a lot of benefit to that, not just in ranking higher, but also in, promoting that content to your audience and convincing them to do business with you.
That's very true. I think something very important too is that you are always focusing on optimizing and improving those local results. Something I think that we should go over 3 of the main points of what we're going to do to improve your local results. The first is maintaining a strong Google My Business presence, which might sound kind of funny because perhaps it's not as popular as like Yelp or TripAdvisor, but why Google My Business?
Yeah, well, so Google has over 70% market share in the search industry, right? And I guess the next 20% is YouTube, mm-hmm. which is owned by Google. So
right.
If you're not on these platforms, YouTube, Google My Business, you're missing out on a huge opportunity. So establishing your Google My Business profile is the step 1 towards ranking in local search results in that map pack. Keeping it up to date, posting, having photos, customer reviews, these things will all increase the relevancy and the likelihood that Google will rank you highly.
Right. Another thing that you really want to start doing is enhancing your on-page signals. So that means consistent name, address, phone number. This is the most important thing, consistency, or you're not going to rank well. You want the name, address, phone number on the footer of basically every single page on your website. Another thing you might want to do is embed some YouTube videos, maybe a little Google Maps integration. Just really make your page stand out and have a lot of content, and try to make it so that it's not basic but really interactive and exciting and engaging to the user, because that's always going to come back to ranking well, and that's what you want to do. Even if you're not super into like, oh, I want my users to have the best online experience, it's always going to come back to more business for you.
That's exactly right. And just expanding on what Bobby said, kind of a couple no-brainer steps that you need to take if you expect to rank highly in local SEO. Put your name, address, and phone number in your footer. Include a Google Maps integration, and make sure that you're active on Google My Business. And then next steps, I would say get your business listed on these third-party citation websites, right? Yelp, Yellow Pages, TripAdvisor. What else we got? There's a whole bunch of them. There's upwards of 250 of these citation websites that are, fairly credible. Obviously, there's diminishing returns as you continue to build these out, but at least go for 10 to 15 of these citations. And we'll try and do a resource in the future on where you can get these citation links. Mm-hmm. But right now, I mean, you can use Google. Go top citation websites 2018.
That's very true. Yeah, because one of the keys to not only local SEO but organic SEO is building a strong link profile, and this is something that does take time. That's getting your blog or article or what have you linked by a higher authority website, and that's what's really going to make the difference for you. But the steps to getting that done aren't as obvious. how would somebody who maybe is just starting out with all of this go about building a stronger link profile for their website?
Yeah, so citations are one way to get some easy links, right? Because it's not an editorial link. It's almost like a Web 2.0 link where you're maintaining that profile. But in terms of getting like the more authoritative websites, reach out to local news sources, right? Here in Burlington, we have 7 Days, we have Vermont Business Magazine. There's every city, every town has these local publishing sources. Reach out to them, say, hey, I have a great business. Check out my customer reviews. We'd really appreciate it if you could, throw us a bone here and promote us to your audience, because not only will we benefit, but your audience will benefit because we provide a great product or service.
That's very true. I mean, even just like calling the Chamber of Commerce, if you have your business up on the Chamber of Commerce, it really makes you look like you're a part of the community. Your business is integrated with the community. And that's an important thing, not only just for SEO, but just naturally, your customers really want to feel like they're helping out a local business. So these are important things to consider when you're working on your SEO.
And if these people are in, a much bigger city, with Burlington, there's a little bit less competition. But if they're in a bigger city like New York or Boston, LA, Dallas, Houston, Paris, wherever you are in the world, one way to increase your relevancy with your website is to continue building out these landing pages, right? Because very few people in Burlington are searching for specific, like the search demand around Burlington is a lot higher than South Burlington or Essex or Colchester. But if you go to New York, there's Manhattan, there's Brooklyn, there's Queens, and then there are individual neighborhoods within these boroughs. And if you continue to build out landing pages within those boroughs, and Bushwick,
Bed-Stuy,
Brooklyn Heights, Bed-Stuy, all these different neighborhoods, it can really help increase the relevancy, the authority, and really just provide users with a unique experience for exactly what they're searching for.
That's true. One of the things, I feel like I've learned, starting to really dive into SEO is that you don't want to go after like the highest relevancy keywords, because it's David versus Goliath. You're really not going to stand a great chance of ranking, especially if it's something like Forbes or Business Insider or something like that has the article covered. You want to find these more niche searches that maybe have a little less volume, but the thing is, once somebody searches for them, which they definitely will, you have a much greater chance of being up at the top, which is really where you start with SEO, and then you expand from there.
Right, so we talk about authority and relevancy. Those are things that are built over a long period of time, and that's why, with our contracts, they can be up to 2 years. Because it takes a long time to build that authority. It takes lots of content, lots of links. And over time, we hope to rank for those high competition keywords. But like Bobby was saying, there's kind of these low-hanging fruits, these easier to rank search queries. So you can target those right off the bat and see some immediate results. Whereas if you're going after the biggest term, New York City dentists, it's going to be a lot harder to rank for that than it would be for Bed-Stuy dentists or Astoria dentists.
Right. Go for something a little more specific, but something that's still going to have enough traffic where it's going to help boost your rankings.
Yeah. You got anything else that you wanted to touch on, Bobby? I know we've talked about a lot. We've talked about citations, content marketing. So one thing with these citation websites is a lot of times businesses will exist on these third-party citation websites without even them going out and creating these profiles, right? So either a consumer does it, or the domain itself, whitepages.com, will go out and crawl the internet, and they'll find your business information and they'll bring it into their directory. The problem with that is that it's not always accurate information. So you want to go out and claim those profiles, and when search engines see that a profile is claimed, they know that information is accurate, and there's more trust associated with those citations. So citations, claiming your citations, content marketing, on-page signals, Google Maps in your footer, your name, address, phone number in your footer. What am I missing here, Bobby?
I would just say, usability, accessibility, content. Make sure one of the lowest hanging fruits is making sure that it's optimized for mobile use.
Yep.
The landscape of search is changing. Typically speaking, there are more conversions on a desktop, but that might not be much longer. So make sure your website works well on a phone, because most people are going to be searching on a phone when they're looking for something local. They might just be out in the city looking for a great sandwich shop around them. Be that result. Google is looking to deliver the most personalized and optimized results for a certain search query. Be those results, and you will rank much higher.
And the other thing I see on your notes there is responding to some Google reviews, right? So
Yes.
whether it's on Google My Business profile, or Yelp, or wherever you're getting reviews. I remember back in 2010, 2011, it was SiteJabber, which is totally irrelevant now. Don't be on that. But responding to customers. Customer leaves you a review. If it's 5 stars, say, hey, thanks for the review. I'm glad you had a great experience. If it's 2 stars and they're pissed, reach out. See if you can repair that relationship and retain them as a customer. You'll get credit not only for building those relationships and building those long-term customers, but also you'll gain some relevancy by having your responses, which if you're smart, you'll throw some keywords in there. So you'll have that relevancy as well.
That's very true. You want to portray as though you're very actively managing all of these local portal sites. It's very important. Makes the customer feel like you're approachable, and ultimately that your business cares about them.
And don't just portray that. Actually do that.
Exactly.
Actually manage these profiles and these. We didn't even touch on social media, but build an audience on social media and promote your content to that audience, and be active, engage with people. That's where you build these. That's where you increase the lifetime value of these customers. Is building a relationship that enables them to come back time and time again and continue patronizing your business.
Yeah.
Is that the right word? Patronizing?
I would say so. Supporting.
There's some negative connotation there, but all right. So I hope you guys picked up some tips here, and if you don't feel like maintaining all these different profiles, fill out our contact form and get in touch, and
we'll do it for you.
Yeah. All right, guys. See you next week, and hope you learned something.
Thanks.